Good afternoon, sir, and
Good afternoon, Purvesh.
thank you very much for joining us today. It's an honor to have you, sir. We
Purvesh, it's kind of you to say that. The fact is that we are all so free that we die to meet our friends in this city also and in other cities. So always welcome to chat with me, even on not very important topics.
very well, sir.
Bolo.
I will definitely take that opportunity. Sir, we are aware of the current wave of COVID and the catastrophic impact that it had on many lives, families, and profession. In this talk, we would be particularly talking about the impact of this wave on the profession that we both share, which is law. I'm hoping to get to learn your views on this matter. Sir, as moving to the question that I have in my mind, so what are your views on the present condition of judiciary where it can hardly take any urgent matters for hearing?
Purvesh, this is a question which has been vexing us from 23rd of March 2020.
True, sir.
The, the sudden lockdown, the sheer suddenness of it, its impact, all that is a matter of history. Since we didn't know better, we didn't protest against it. But I'll break down your question into three parts. First is the judiciary as a limb of the state, one of the three limbs of the state. And I use the word limb advisedly in its anatomical sense. Now, a limb with its bone and musculature and tendon is a working organ. And like all working organs, if it is exercised less, it becomes weaker. Your muscles atrophy. Therefore, cosmonauts who go into space and have no gravity to combat, their muscles actually become weak. And not only do they become weak, they lose muscle mass. I most humbly submit to our learned judges, especially of the higher judiciary. Sir, madam, by vacating the space which has been reserved under the constitution for you, to the extent that you are functioning at 10%, 15% of your capacity, you are weakening the very institution whom you have been appointed to serve. So, 1.5 years of 1 year and 1 month of non-use has certainly weakened the judiciary, and its ability to control the levers of the constitution as the constitution has told us it should do. So that is as far as the judiciary is concerned. Why this is regrettable is that while restraint and a change of working are necessary, as we say in Hindi, kahin na kahin aisa lagta hai that they have not tried their best to reopen to the widest extent possible. In other words, when you go before a division, before a bench or a judge to mention, they tell you urgency kya hai. 1 saal se urgency hai, sir. The fact that a case is brought to the court means somebody wants relief. Barring a very small percentage of speculative litigators, a litigator comes to the court as a last resort. That is the urgency. Even in money claims, there is urgency. So, when the judiciary says, no, we'll take up only urgent cases, that means that if your jurisdiction is for urgent and non-urgent, and typically urgent would be about 10%, you are abdicating power and jurisdiction to somebody else. In any system, if you give up power, other people will take that power and use it. And when the time comes, you say, "Acha, ab hum shuru karte hain," you will find that your muscles are atrophied, your credibility is gone, and you don't know how to work in a changed world. This is as far as the judiciary, the people who are the judges are concerned. But you and I and lawyers, we are as important a part of the system as judges are, though the judges think we are a necessary evil, or sometimes they think we are an unnecessary evil. But that is the scope of a different day's talk. Lawyers are brought to their knees because lawyers are essentially daily wagers. Either you get a wage every day, as some very successful senior advocates do, or you get it every month or a fortnight as your new cases come, but you only earn when you work. In this, the lawyers are very different from the comfortably situated honorable judges and the administration of the court. The registries of the court and the various administrative staff on the one hand, and the judicial officers who man those courts on the other hand, have not suffered a single day's privation in terms of lack of income. I believe that, in fact, even out of a certain shamefacedness, the judiciary should say, let's try and do the maximum we can. Why is it that lawyers and, more importantly, litigants, general public, gets the feeling that यार सरकारी दफ्तरों में तो काम चल रहा है, थोड़ा कम चल रहा है, but ज्यादातर चल रहा है. Why are you guys shutting it down to 4 or 5 courts, 7 courts during vacation, only 2 judges? What is this vacation business? The mismatch between the work that the judiciary has done and the money that the exchequer has spent on them cannot be ignored for very long now. We in our close group talk about this not out of jealousy, but the man on the street who cannot open his ready, who cannot have his mochi shop, who is locked down, will say, guys, you are locking me down, but I am going hungry. You are locking yourselves down, but you are not going hungry. Same applies to lawyers. Lawyers are not the fuel of the judicial system is the faith reposed by the public in the judiciary. And that faith is demonstrated by the fact that if you are a litigious society, that means you realize, you acknowledge that litigation is the only correct way of solving dispute. You can't take the law into your hands. You can't approach extra legal forces like gundas or somebody. You should not bribe. हमारा मुकदमा सही है, हम कोर्ट में जाएंगे. That belief is being eroded. And if that is eroded, then you have the fact that this great respect that the judiciary enjoys, which is the result almost exclusively of the faith which the public have on the judiciary, will be a thing of the past. Will become an effete organization whom nobody trusts, whom nobody values, and after some time, whom everybody ignores. Yes.
Sir, going further in the question, in the terms that you have put, you said that judiciary is one of the limb, and if you put it non-functional for a while, it becomes, it loses muscles power. But sir, even for the body, if it gets infected, it is required that you put entire body on a rest for a while, and then you have your physiotherapy done after your body gets into the proper state. In the present situation as well, if we consider that in the same identical manner that the entire system has been affected by the COVID infection, and it was required for the body to put on rest for a while, but now this physiotherapy is required. what would be that physiotherapy to the judicial limb now that is that would be helpful in the system, sir?
So when I discuss with some of my friends who are judges, they also point out that these are difficult times, and they keep chiding me, including in official matters also. The learned Chief Justice was chiding me कि काविला साहब आप तो रीओपनिंग की बात ही करते हैं और कुछ बात ही नहीं करते. सही है, हम कुछ उसकी ज्यादा बात करते हैं. The point I'm saying is that you have shut yourself down. You say this is an ameliorative measure. It is now becoming increasingly apparent that a lockdown or a shutdown or a reduction is only a stopgap arrangement. Okay, lockdown is no cure. It stops you from being overrun. And while the lockdown occurs, you turn your army and attack the enemy. That army is vaccination. Correct? So the lockdown was supposed to achieve that purpose. We are moving towards vaccination. Very good. Should the judiciary have damped down itself and lowered its interaction? Absolutely yes. But for the last 1 year, I have been saying that the judiciary, the captains of the leaders of the judiciary, the Supreme Court and the High Court judges, especially the Chief Justices, will have to come up with a metric and say, as far as we are concerned, कि हमारे राज्य में when new cases reach this level or when recoveries outstrip new cases by this measure, or when deaths go down to X factor, or when vaccination reaches Z point, some metric. After that, we'll start opening up. The problem today is, and why are people making fun of us, lawyers and judges alike, is, जैसे तुम तो बंद किए जा रहे हो, तो खोलने की तो कोई बात ही नहीं करता है. In other words, where does our leadership tell us, the leadership of the bar and the judiciary, where do they tell us that we will not open till XYZ occurs? Now we have had 1 year of dealing with this. These are some of the brightest minds in the country in law, along with inputs from epidemiologists, physicians, doctors. They should be able to say, okay, we will not do widespread opening of all the courts functioning till X happens. We will not do even trial mixed hearing till Y occurs. We will not open up physical hearing at all till Z parameter is reached. Very good. Please do that. Please do that and tell us कि हमें रिहाई कब मिलेगी. Even when a convict goes to jail, he is told you will serve 8 years, less remissions, plus jail offenses. Everybody knows. And we are, please be clear, we are in a state of restrained movement. It is a kind of incarceration. As far as legal beings are concerned, we are incarcerated right now. You and I are just not citizens locked inside our houses. We are functionaries who are incarcerated because our field used to be this, now it's become this. So this metric which I'm talking about, it is of course a discretion of the authorities, but it's fixing shows us that somebody is thinking in the right direction. Because right now everybody is in such a fog of fear that everybody says, have you seen the numbers now? Of course we have seen the numbers. We are as scared for our lives as you are. But you will have to learn to live with this existential threat. And how best you cope with it will be demonstrated by how you are willing to meet with it head on. So a metric has to be there. And you give the date of August, you give the date of September. You will say only when we reach 0 deaths by COVID, whatever it is, say it. But please say it so that the way forward is known. We can put our houses in order. So that's my request to anybody who is listening. Yes.
Sir, the next question would be that during the last 1 year period, the court has more or less started functioning on this virtual platform. The Supreme Court even has started hearing final disposal matters, and it was been quite successful in doing that as well. The paper books which are now which are being taken up for hearing are in the digitalized form. So, I mean, what was the reason for what do you think would be the reason for the courts to even close that during this wave period? Uh, I mean, what justification would be the judiciary have? That would be one of the major questions that we advocates are trying to search upon. And what are your views on that, sir?
Knee-jerk panic. I don't know if knee-jerk is one word or two words, but it's knee-jerk panic. The knee-jerk panic proceeds like this. Have you seen the numbers? We must do something. What is the only thing we can do? Let's lock down. That in a sentence or two is the raison d'etre of this lockdown. You are absolutely right in saying that the VC system, I'll tell you how we all, even those who hate the VC, how we all got used to it. We saved a lot of time. And before this crippling new lockdown came, all of us had started leaving the office only in the evening when the court finished. We were working in high courts the whole day. Lots of lawyers, everybody from their own houses, but we were working the whole day. Every court had got 70, 80 matters, took up and disposed so many, 23, 24 courts. It was working, excuse me, it was working very well. And then again this happened. Now, why does this happen? The judges, they are almost Olympian in their isolation. Even otherwise, if you see, if any lawyer or judge is listening to this, the structure of the life of the judges, especially in the olden times, when I joined practice, the judges were very aloof from the day-to-day rough and tumble of civilian life. And even now, the very physical architecture of the courts cuts the honorable judges off from the janta, which is us lawyers. Good. They have got vast chambers, antechambers, and they can talk to people in their room, keeping not 6 feet distance, but 6 meters distance. Despite this Olympian isolation, regrettably, one of my dear friends, a Gujarat High Court judge, passed away. Other 3-4 judges all over India have passed away. So many have been affected and have happily come through it. Which leads me to wonder that this lockdown and this, consider how few the judges are in society. In my court, there are about 30 judges. Of that, I know for a fact that 4 or 5 were infected. One judge, Justice Udwani, passed away. Out of 30, your positivity rate is 5 out of 30. Your mortality rate is 1 out of 30. Is this working for you? Is this isolation working for you?
Right.
I am no expert in epidemiology or virology or pandemic theory or even mathematics, but the numbers are staring us in the face. Therefore, a solution with a better fit needs to be brought out. Now, one thing I'll comment on, that even in this lovely time of video conferencing, the court had not allowed the lawyers, or rather had not forced the lawyers to get rid of their worst vices. And the worst vice of us lawyers is our absolute keenness to take an adjournment, at least in India. Now, I have said this before, and I'll say it again. On the cricket field, if they have got only 20 runs to make in 2 overs, the bowling side will try to slow things down. It is the umpire's job to hurry things up. If the batsman is wasting time, 9 wickets down, 7 balls to survive. If the batsman is wasting time, rather not 7 balls, 5 minutes to survive in a test scenario, the umpire has to hurry things along. It is no use saying कि आप लोग ही तो फिर adjournment मांगते हैं, फिर हम क्या करें? The lawyers will do what they have to do. It is an adversarial system. I will try and get advantage for my client. If it means postponing the case to another day, I will do it. The system expects me to do it. But the learned judges will have to evolve a method of working in post-COVID times. And that will only happen when the judges start putting a value on judicial time. I'll say this again. The judges will have to put a value on judicial time. Not that after hearing the matter for 20 minutes, I'll say, अच्छा ये affidavit नहीं है, चलो अगली बार लगा देते हैं आप affidavit. No. Today's hearing has consumed 30 minutes. It must go to the next step. If judges put value on judicial time, lawyers will begin to value it themselves, because judicial time, face time with the judge, is a lawyer's asset. They will value that asset if it becomes rare. Simple demand and supply. Make it so that lengthy arguments are penalized. Make it so that every hearing counts. Make it so that false statements are not allowed to be shirked so easily. Come down on it heavily. We serve copies to the department, and the concerned government lawyer says, मुझे कॉपी नहीं मिली. अरे भाई, पर आपके डिपार्टमेंट को तो मिल गई है. Judge says, okay, never mind, Mr. Kavina. You serve another copy. Keep it next week. That is sacrilege. That is sacrilege. I am sure petitioner side also has pulled such a stunt in the past. The senior counsel says, मुझे copy नहीं मिली. Advocate on record has got it. Or advocate on record says, sir, it is served on my clerk, but I have not got it. All that has to end now. We are in a new, fast race, and we will have to be quick on our feet, nimble. And no part of nimbleness is served by the courts giving a premium to dilatory tactics. And it be said now, Purvesh, you have been a lawyer for how long?
20 years now.
Okay, so I have been coming to the Gujarat High Court from 1985 as a first-year law student with my late and dear and respected senior Kersi Bhai Setna. And from then we have seen it till now. At that time, a lawyer would come out laughing because it was a rare enough event. And he would say, today the judge took an adjournment, because very rarely the judge would, the judges, honorable judges, of course, never have to take adjournments. But they would sometimes engineer the discourse in such a direction that one or the other side will say, chalo yaar, time le lete hain, ye khatam karte hain aaj ka din. That has become the rule now. In fact, judges openly say that, अच्छा, this is the issue. Huh? Okay, जरा मैं इसके पढ़ाई करके आता हूँ. The law presumes that you don't know it. The lawyers have worked on it for more number of hours than you have spent tens of minutes on it. So listen to one side, listen to the other, read the papers, see the law and decide. Why is it that the adversarial system is not being taken advantage of? So in these post-COVID times, pendency will, as you say, it will skyrocket.
True.
Because जो मुकदमे अंदर आ रहे हैं, वो तो उतने ही हैं. Of course, I must sound a note of caution. The worst kind of reduction in pendency will be when matters are stopped being filed in the court. And when that happens, please migrate to another country, because that means that the administration of justice is now on a ventilator. And I am seeing that in certain branches of law, cases मुकदमे फाइल ही नहीं होते. Because people think अबे क्या जाना है यार कोर्ट में, सुनवाई तो होती नहीं है. So be careful of that good metric coming up. So cases, the pendency will skyrocket unless the systemic changes are enforced by the judiciary. One lawyer colleague or other of mine will bitch. I will be displeased. But as a general rule, if it is applied evenly across the board, that no time unless it is absolutely necessary, and it has to be emphasized and spoken in this way, until we reach that standard, areas will keep mounting.
So, what I've understood from what you said is that the timely judicial delivery system is the essential limb of the democracy. That's what I understand what you said. And non-functioning of that would result into tyranny. And therefore, the migration would be the one of the option with the individual to get away.
Migration, not local, out of the country.
That's what I said. Migration out of this tyranny
Yes,
administration.
No, I'll never suggest that. But I'm giving you a bad example to indicate how severe I think the problem is. Of course, migration is not a problem, but it's a metaphor. उससे बेहतर है तो छोड़ के चले जाएं. Yes.
No, so the question then would be that it would be a remedy for an individual, but for the administration as a whole won't be that. That is not the remedy. So, what remedy you suggest to overcome this situation that we are facing now, is what you have said?
The administration, I think, when you talk about the administration, you have to mean the government, because the administration of the judiciary has imposed these restrictions upon itself. Now, in our constitutional scheme of things, the executive can't do anything to tell the judiciary कि नहीं तुम ज़्यादा काम करो. वो तो हो नहीं सकता है. In a democracy with free speech, the only impetus that can be given to the judiciary is for more and more sober comment. I hope we have been very sober today. Sober comment to reach the ears of the judiciary that, sir, you are still top of the pops for us, but you really need to bring your A game to it now. You are losing ground, you are losing muscle mass, you are losing power, and above all, you are losing the trust of the people. So, please remedy it yourself. Now, why I'm hopeful is that if you take the simile of a living organism such as a human being, so you consider the judiciary as a human being, and you have now lockdown, and the body has, sometimes it happens that when your body becomes very weak, infected, it shows sign of weakness. The idea is to make the body take rest. And then the soldiers of the body roll their sleeves up and go inside the bloodstream and say, "Kaun hai? Ek ek ko chun chun ke maarte." This is the time for the judiciary now. It has had its prolonged period of less rest. It has regrouped properly. It now knows the extent and depth of the challenge. Now, like the white blood cells attack the virus which comes into our body, the elements within the judiciary will have to go on a crusade to say, this is how I restore the body of the judiciary, this organism that we call the judiciary. This is how we will restore it. And within that, so that is the meta problem. The solution will be very granular. The solution will be one mentioning judge saying, yes, this is an urgent matter. The solution will be one division bench saying, yes, we'll take up all matters today. maybe we'll have to sit longer. And when this granular resolution comes out, the colleagues of those who take the first steps will also realize that we must start now doing our work properly. First of all, we must start doing our work, not have this vacation. I would have thought that in vacation times, we should have used this opportunity to work slightly more than those two benches. At least in the Gujarat High Court, we have one civil and one criminal bench. That's it. At least have the 7 to 8 benches. At least have some civil matters. Let the circle keep turning, because like a car which has been kept. Sorry to mix metaphors, living organism, car, but the intent is the same. Those who are not able to imagine the inside of a body, imagine your car which you have, which you're coming to, or your motorcycle which you have kept unused, and the battery goes flat. फिर तो धक्के मार के भी चालू नहीं होती है. हमें उस मकाम पे नहीं पहुंचना है कि जुडिशरी को धक्का मारना पड़े और फिर भी स्टार्ट ना हो. That's why I predict joyously, hope rather, I can't say predict, but I optimistically and joyously hope that granularly the elements which comprise the entire judiciary, they will start this individually. It will have to be individual or one or two, and we see glowing examples of conscientious judges and benches all over India, even in these dark times. Therefore, I am at the meta level very hopeful that things will improve, but we will all have to push. You will have to push with the judge before whom you have the matter. I will have to push before the judge before whom I have the matter, and tell him or her that, my lady, it's time we expanded the scope of your hearing. It's time we sat the whole day. It's time we didn't insist on only urgent matters. It's time we took up civil matters. And lastly, give important matters their due preference. And this is an ill which we have been watching. Commentators much more learned than me, that is to say, learned commentators, as opposed to me, who is only a regular High Court hack. Learned commentators have said that the judiciary has never missed a chance to miss a chance in the last few years. I'll say this again. They've never missed a chance to miss a chance. एक मौका आता है when you're standing at a fork. One road leads to decision, the other leads to postponement. And perhaps very disappointingly, they have chosen the other road more often. Commentators have commented upon this. That is another tendency we must guard against. I myself have got a petition or two pending where in July, August, I had said, this is an important question. That the court says, very important question, rule. But we'll hear it after physical hearing opens. It was with regard to COVID only. I don't know what would have happened if it had been taken then. It was a PIL in which I was appearing for a litigant. But today we are at the stage when the court has had to step in and is having hearings every 4 or 5 days to monitor how the state government, in what measure can be helped to improve itself.
Sir, even after this wave subsidizes, we do not see any fortune to have to go into the court physically, and again the things will be starting with this virtual hearing. Do you think that this would now help in reducing the pendency that has been piled up now for about 1 year?
देखो पूर्वेश, ऐसा है, you are a fit guy. Your DP is a fit guy playing badminton or something. I am not. Doctor always tells me you lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. Now, if I ate wisely but not very well, I'm sure I would achieve that. But that would not be a desirable way of losing weight. But if only virtual hearing is there and the entry gate into the judiciary is throttled, and in that sense the arrears come down, I say there cannot be a worse way of reducing the pendency than that way. That would be equivalent to the body losing body mass by diabetes or another wasting disease. And that would sound the death knell of the judiciary. Therefore, better to be fat for that reason than to be underfed for that reason. कि लोगों ने आना ही बंद कर दिया. If that happens, I said, we are on the road to hell. So I'm not looking at this as a means of curbing, what do you call it? Pendency. Pendency रहेगी. लोगों का विश्वास रहना बहुत जरूरी है. And if the best test, people vote with their feet. जितने लोग ज्यादा कोर्टों में आएंगे, that much more we will know that people's confidence in the courts has not been shaken. जितने कम लोग आएंगे, that much the worse it is for all of us. So yes, lowering pendency, but not that way.
The only option that you suggest would be to start the court physically in whatever.
You start the court in whatever means is possible. And everybody has seen it now. You are not able, some of my friends are bored with this example which I give, that you are not going to be able to avoid COVID. You will not be able to go around it.
True.
Somehow or the other, you have to go through it.
Very true.
Now we're all going through it. Some of us, all of us, when I say all, not you or me personally, all of us have been infected. Somebody in our house is infected. Somebody is not. We have all gone through it. Now that we have gone through it, we may have to go through it again. We may have to keep going through it. Learn to live with this. And learn to live the fullest. So I'll give you the example of war-torn Britain. Britain was brought to its knees by the Blitz. Continuous bombing for so many days. But the government tried its best. There was severe, crippling food rationing, crippling petrol rationing. Children were moved out of cities. But nevertheless, the government never said, no parties, no restaurants. Because all those things which we human beings have created for us to have human lives as opposed to animal existence, they are what make us human. Interaction, slapping Purvesh on the back as I pass by him and asking him, kya bike chalata hai ki nahi, is part of what makes us human. If you remove that, we are diminished as human beings. Therefore, it is everybody's duty to try and go back to it, given whatever constraints we have. So, it has to be normal. It has to be the new normal. But emphasis on the normal, not on new.
Right. Sir, I remember what example that you have given right now. I remember a time during Henry VIII, 1503, there was a plague being burst out in England. And Henry actually moved out of his court and went to Windsor. And thereafter, a regent was appointed with specific instructions to at least see that the judicial system works and continues.
Purvesh, you're so right. In fact, at the beginning of last year, there was a video conferencing matter in the UK, where one UK judge had said that judiciary is one of the essential services.
That's what
must continue. It is an essential service, and access to judiciary is a human right. And if you don't believe me, please don't believe me. 32 is the most important article in the Constitution, is what every second year law student knows, because Ambedkar Sahib said so. So when you are the most important thing, you are a frontline worker, behave like one. Step up.
Right.
Step up.
Very well, sir. Sir, any concluding remarks that you would like to?
I would really like, I think the last sentence, I would really most humbly beseech the judiciary that please step up. Everywhere we are seeing the executive is constrained by lack of resources, by considerations other than administration, and all those other things which politics brings in its wake. You and I, when I say you and I, the judicial system, the judges, the lawyers, we are not affected by those things. So you please step up, and I bet you will find lawyers marching in lockstep with you. You have got screens in front of you. You want lawyers to come in one by one. You want lawyers to be timely. Please do so. But to just one word, please step up and face this challenge, because now you are our last hope.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Purvesh. And it's very flattering that somebody wants to listen to guys.
So it is always.
And so that last part you can edit out after your namaste.
No, sir, it's okay.
No,
it's a good learning from you always, sir.
No, it's great fun.
Right, sir.
Okay, dear.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.